him.
I want to watch the news.
Are you making headway at least?
This is the news.
Schmack-a-magab, it's time for the only news that matters. And we heard nothing but praise for Randy Rhoads from the various legendary musicians who've spoken about him. From his personality to his guitar chops, it's obviously that his tragic passing was an incredibly hard blow to rock and metal music. You're telling me. You know, if there's anybody I would bring back, musician, it'd be Randy Rhoads. And I've seen Randy Rhoads live. I've never seen Bon Scott or John Bonham. I'd love to get those people back. And Metallica never came down here with Cliff Burton. So those are all people I would love to see. But Randy Rhoads was different, man. Well, I guess you can put Randy Rhoads in the same category as Cliff Burton, where, man, they were beginning to shine. And it looks like both Cliff Burton and Randy Rhoads would have expanded and been even more awesome as time goes by. I mean, Randy Rhoads and Ozzy Osbourne both said that they didn't like Diary of a Madman. It was too rushed. I mean, how crazy is that? How much more perfect can you make that album? I don't know, man. That's some wild stuff. Can you imagine if they did have the time? Oh, man. But anyway, speaking to 101 WRIF, current Motley Crue and ex-Rob Zombie Marilyn Manson and two guitarists, John Five, spoke about Randy Rhoads and praising the late guitarist's abilities. He said, Randy was an anomaly. He just had this style that nobody really had before. It was kind of like the invention of the microwave, you know? Like, oh, wow, look at this. This is so different. Or an electric car, you're like, whoa, this is so different. That's how Randy was to millions of fans, including me. I just loved his style. It was so unique. And he had classical, of course, in there. And you can tell he was just obsessed and so dedicated to the guitar. Not only such an incredible guitar player, but such an incredible songwriter too. You telling me, man. The thing I was listening to the other day on my iPod Shuffle, Goodbye to Romance came in. By the way, I prefer the version where it's only Ozzy and Randy. Nothing against Bob Daisley because he does great stuff and so does Lee Kerslake. I have no problem with that version. And I'm listening to it. And throughout the whole song, man, Randy's doing these little weird chord things all the way through the song. And then when that guitar solo comes in, I mean, Jesus, those notes in that song is just even more emotional than the song itself. And that song is pretty damn emotional to me. But anyway, John Five continues stressing Randy Rhoads' importance in rock and metal music and citing a popular song from Ozzy Osbourne's career as proof. He said, Randy reinvented the wheel. If you think about it, he totally reinvented the wheel. It's unbelievable. Coming out with Crazy Train, I think that was their first single. That riff will never die. That riff will be popular forever and ever and ever. Just think about it. You get into a band, Randy might go, oh, I'll write some Black Sabbath riffs. Tony Iommi is a genius and I love him. And Randy reinvented the wheel. Unbelievable. And the world loved it. The world loved it. We sure did, man. I mean, anybody that thinks Randy Rhoads was, became more popular because he died, you were obviously not around at the time when he was alive. Winning Best New Guitar Player magazine before he died. And believe me, he was the buzzword. After I saw the Blizzard of Oz tour, when I saw Randy Rhoads, I didn't really know Randy Rhoads yet. I knew the Blizzard album, I knew the guy was good, but I didn't know he was that good. Because I was just smack in front of him. And just seeing this little skinny dude bend that cream Les Paul to get that wow, where you need a whammy bar. Randy did it with his arm, like just, oh my God, just the things he was playing right in front of my eyes. I was like, my God, this guy is a genius. And then I left that show telling everybody about Randy Rhoads this, Randy Rhoads that. I couldn't get Randy Rhoads out of my head. And believe me, Def Leppard was awesome. They opened up, High and Dry tour, they were killer. You know, but it was Randy that stole the whole show. And it was my first time seeing Ozzy. You know, I'm all the way up front, but I'm on Randy's side, but I'm still a big Black Sabbath fan. And I love Ozzy with all my heart, you know, so I'm up there up front. I wanted to get center where Ozzy was, but I couldn't, so I had to stick on Randy's side. And damn, am I glad I did that, man. And I was telling everybody, and then they were coming back. They were opening for Foreigner at the Orange Bowl. And I was telling everybody, wait till you see Randy, man. Wait till you see Randy. And then, I'll never forget it, man. I'm walking home from school, and my friend, Ronnie Hicks, he was really the older brother of my friend. He said, hey, Ralph, man, did you hear? Ozzy Osbourne just died in a plane crash. And I was like, what? I didn't believe it. I was like, you know, because at the time, Ozzy, you know, biting the head off the bat, pissing on the Alamo, biting the Dubs. There was a lot of, you know, talk of Ozzy, and I just thought that was, I couldn't accept it. I just thought it was a rumor, right? And I get home, and I'm watching the news. And I'll never forget it. May she rest in peace. Ann Bishop, she was the news anchor, and she was old back then, so I know she can't be alive anymore. But I'll never forget it. She said it. She said, Ozzy Osbourne. And that's how she said it. And I was like, oh my God. And she said the guitar player, Randy Rhoads, was killed. Ozzy was not harmed. And I was like, my heart sank. I couldn't believe it. You know, this is a guy I was recently obsessed with for about a year. And to hear that, it just hit me so hard. I'm like, Randy had so much more to offer, man. If he could have just lived, man. He was supposed to do one more studio album with Ozzy. He was supposed to do the Speak of the Devil album. He agreed. He didn't want to do it initially. Then he finally agreed. And he said one more studio album after that. And he wanted to go study classical guitar. I mean, that is not a rock star, man. That's a guy that's a true musician, you know. He wanted to walk away from the biggest band, you know, because he wanted to learn more about the guitar, like John 5 said. He was obsessed. He was dedicated, you know. And, you know, my buddy Jay, man, he got me Quiet Riot on vinyl. And I've had Quiet Riot too since 1996. And they're both not good albums, but man, if you string all the guitar solos together, pretty badass, but it's still not what he was with Ozzy. It's night and day. He was a great guitar player in Quiet Riot. Songs weren't there, but he did some great solos. But then you listen to what he did on Revelation Mother Earth and Mr. Crowley, Over the Mountain, Believer. I mean, my God, it's mind-blowing how amazing Randy was, you know? And, yeah, when Eddie was alive, he said some messed up things about Randy, saying that, you know, the plane crash happened because they were fucking around and stuff like that. And he said that he copied everything from Eddie. I disagree 100%. Yeah, he did a little tapping on Flying High Again, Crazy Train, but come on. What Van Halen song sounds like Diary of a Madman or, you know, Goodbye to Romance? You know, put Goodbye to Romance and Woman in Love. Those are two songs, two ballads from both bands. They're polar opposites to playing. I don't think Randy copied Eddie. I know there was a little, you know, competition, and I don't think either liked each other. But, man, right before he died, he was on Eddie Van Halen's heels, man. I'll tell you something controversial that I don't know many people will agree with, but all right. Ozzy Osbourne's, my favorite guitar player in Ozzy Osbourne is Randy Rhoads. Now, Jakey Lee, if you ask me, is technically better as a guitar player. What he can do, in my opinion. The solos and Bark at the Moon and stuff, Waiting for Darkness. I thought he was technically better than Randy, but he couldn't quite write the songs as good as Randy, if you ask me. But that's my personal opinion. What's your opinion? Leave it in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching The Only News That Matters. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Ring that little notification bell and like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty. Listen to Black Sabbath and smack 'em a gob.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.